Peace to everybody. This is just in. Authorities have found human remains in vicinity of explosion in Nashville. So the authorities have found human remains of of the vicinity of explosion in Nashville. And as you can see here is the officer who held a press conference after the explosion that happened in Nashville, Tennessee this morning. For people who have AT&T phones, you will not be allowed to call anybody because most of the cell towers are out right now. Nobody can get a hold of their families or anything right now. So just can't, and you can't even call 911 either because there's a lot of outages right now all over the place, and it's spreading real fast with the outages. You can go to downdetector.com to check out the outages in your area. Again, that is downdetector.com. Emergency service Friday responded to a massive explosion in downtown Nashville on Christmas morning. Yeah, so the emergency services did respond to a massive explosion that happened in downtown Nashville on Christmas morning. The explosive was inside of an RV parked on 2nd Avenue in downtown Nashville. So the RV was parked on 2nd Avenue in downtown Nashville. So the explosive was inside of the RV. So here's the picture of the RV. If you know anybody who owns this RV, please call whoever it is you got to call because the police want to know who owns this RV. The RV arrived on 2nd Ave at 1:22 a.m., police said. Yes, so this is the RV that arrived on 2nd Avenue at 1:22 a.m. According to eyewitnesses and law enforcement that arrived on the scene, an audio warning was broadcast from the RV just ahead of the explosion. Yeah, so according to eyewitnesses and law enforcement that arrived on the scene, an audio warning was broadcast from the RV. It was ahead of the explosion. The warning went on for 30 minutes before a countdown began right before the massive explosion. So this warning went on for 30 minutes. Okay, and after that warning of a 30-minute, there was some kind of music. I don't know what kind of music it was because they're not saying that it started the countdown after the warning went on for 30 minutes. And this was began right before the massive explosion, the warning went on. Law enforcement said police officers took the audio warning into an immediate blast seriously, evacuated the nearby buildings. So yeah, so the police had to take this seriously. And of course, they had to evacuate everybody from the nearby building that where the RV was and everything. When asked by a reporter if anyone was inside of the RV at the time of the explosion, law enforcement didn't rule it out and said officials say they were still investigating. So one of the reporters has asked if anyone inside the RV at the time of the explosion. Law enforcement didn't rule it out. And then the officials say they were still investigating. The Associated Press is now reporting that human remains were found in the vicinity of the explosion. Alright, so according to the Associated Press, they are now saying that the human remains were found inside the vicinity of the explosion. It is unclear how the remains are related to the Friday explosion or whether they might belong to the person believed to be responsible or a victim. The officials could not discuss an ongoing investigation publicly and spoke to the AP on condition of anonymity. Yeah, so it is unclear how the remains are related to the Friday explosion, so they have to do an autopsy or whatever it is that they got to do for the remains. And of course, here's the explosion in Nashville may have been intentional. So here is what the Associated Press has put on their Twitter account. And as you can see, the trees are down. You can see the officers. You can see the building exploded over there and everything else. And I'm trying to get much information as I can right now for this explosion. I'm doing everything I can. There is a live feed on YouTube right now that you could check out about the explosion on YouTube, about what happened. But again, anybody who has AT&T phones, you will not be allowed to call anybody. There will be no 911 service or anything. So you just got to be patient as much as you can right now. They're still investigating, and this is a serious thing. And of course, you know, President Trump has been briefed on this when it first happened. So just be patient with your self-service, because they are doing everything they can to find out who did it and why. So if you have loved ones to check on, you won't be allowed to do that. So again, please be patient. Leave your comments below. I am out.